Hello, everybody. Welcome to the coziest Halloween hardware stream. And, oh man, one of the first Dayglow episodes that David Groom and I did, we came up with the term live screaming because it happened that the whole internet went down. Basically, there was this huge Cloudflare issue for like a few hours right when we were trying to go live, and we'd come up with this term while talking about such tech issues. Anyway, I'm a little bit slower than expected. I'm having a bit of a health situation, but that's fine. It will be fine. I'm just settling in for some warm and cozy hacks as we enter the autumnal season. So anyway, here goes the energy. So I've got a bunch of my favorite Halloween flavored PCBs, and I'm going to show you those. And I'm also going to apply the battery holder to this PCB in particular from Tilda Industries, which is a gift from my friend David Groom of the aforementioned Dayglow live stream show. I'm also going to show you a sneak peek of some of my new PCB stuff that I'm working on. So a few years ago, in the middle of burnout, I was dealing with my KiCad or KiCad, whatever. I like KiCad because I have a tutorial called iPad to KiCad. Anyway, so I upgraded my setup, I updated the app, and all of a sudden all of my component libraries broke. I had been using mostly SparkFun components and also some of the default component libraries. And for some reason, a lot of those decided to suddenly not work with the new version of KiCad. So I think it was going from 6 to 7, maybe. Very frustrating, and since I was zero energy, I have not gotten around to updating my components and fixing my setup until now, which means that basically now when I have an idea for a PCB, I don't have to wade through the whole process of like creating components and finding the right components and stuff before I can do a design. So I'm very excited about that. I'm actually kind of working on my custom set of components that I can use, and then when KiCad updates again, if it breaks, I'll be able to easily recreate it because I'll have had a lot of practice. So first, my favorite Halloween PCBs, then some live hacking with live soldering, putting this battery holder onto this PCB, and then also maybe some KiCad hacks. I'd love to get one PCB design done today. I've been working on one. I'll show you. It's an update of my guitar pick PCB design, and I've just been looking for my iCAD to KiCad tutorial, and here, iPad to KiCad, and here it is. So I'll drop this in the description after the fact, but for now I'm going to put it in the comments. Here we go. So this is my process for hand drawing elements to go on PCBs. This is Hack a Clock right now, what you're watching. You can find all of them on YouTube under this playlist. We've got this tutorial, all my Hackster projects, tons of different hardware things, and many other things also are cataloged on my Notion site. I've got a newsletter that hasn't come out for a while, but I've got a bunch of stuff. A ton of events kicked in, which is why that happened. And you can actually now track the live shows and events that I'm going to be doing, including this weekend is the Autumn Lights Festival in Oakland. 3 nights. I'm going to try and make it to all 3 nights because I've got some fun stuff to walk around with. And then we've got on next Tuesday, Hackster Cafe with a couple of, not Jason Kreidner again, but a couple of really cool people who make their own companion bots. And then SuperCon at the end of October / beginning of November. Oh, cool! Well, we got somebody from Oakland, so maybe I'll run into you at the Autumn Lights Festival if you go. It's right at Lake Merritt. Should be nice. I actually haven't been to this one before, so it should be interesting. Hey, what's up, Tariq? Good to see you. Got a regular. So let's start right off with favorite Halloween PCBs. I'm kind of in ghost mode because I just rebleached my hair, so it's extra spooky, right? So I just showed you this one from Tilda Industries. I might have lied. I think this one was a gift from David Groom. But anyway, this has a really gorgeous integration of copper underneath the black solder mask, and it's matte black solder mask, which is just the little black dress of electronics, in my opinion. Look at those cute little sparkles in the eyes, and this just like skeletal effect is gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of subtle skeletal stuff, and you've got the actual design done in silkscreen on the other side. This is a jewel thief, so similar to a PCB I've done before, adapting this circuit that was christened by Big Clive, the jewel thief. It basically allows you to run things off of nearly dead batteries. This one isn't super Halloweeny, but I do actually, you know what? Originally, I was saying that it was like a zombie sort of circuit because it lets you reanimate things with old batteries. So anyway, it lets you like these undead batteries, basically, you know. Um, I should show my companion core because it also is a skeleton. What's wrong with me? And it has another little subtle heart thing. But anyway, then we've got this new one from Darcy Neal, which is a dagger, which hosts a few different shitty add-ons in these little spots you can put on here. So these are the version 2. They're actually simple add-ons, I think is the spec, defined by Twinkle Twinkie. So the original was by Brian Benchoff, and had 4 pins, 3 volts, 3.3 volts, ground, and if I'm not wrong, I squared C pins, so SDA and SCL. But the new one has, well, the later one has also 2 GPIOs on it, and it's got a really nice shape. You can just like host them on here if you don't have another badge to put them on or just for display. Gorgeous. Um, I've got my ESP8266 Ouija style programmer PCB, and actually I grabbed the example circuit so I could show you how it actually looks when you've hooked it up. Haha! Fancy that. Oh, okay, and we've also got a companion core here. Okay, so this guy, the way that it works is you plug in the FTDI cable on this side. You put your ESP8266 here on some headers so that you can remove it. Basically allows you to upload Arduino code onto here using a method that is described in the tutorial. And then on the back, you put these program and reset buttons so that basically you just press it down onto a surface, and almost like clicking a mouse. It feels really satisfying, actually, when you program this. And then I've got also a capacitor on there. I keep meaning to put this, to get this OSHWA certified, and let's pull that up. It is currently Open Hardware Month, and if you certify your project as OSHWA, open source hardware with OSHWA in this month, OSHWA.org, then you get it, it's specially pumpkin spiced designated. So it's actually really easy. I just always mean to make one more little tweak to the board before I, submit it. Let's see, where's the certify your project, certify your project. They also have announced their Open Hardware Summit 2026, which is going to be in Berlin at the end of May. Where's the? I know that it's around here, but my brain is braining too little today. The largest Clive. I actually should see if Big Clive has a current kit for the Jewel Thief, because I've made my own version and I'm gonna do a different one in the future as well, called the Magic Roundabout. Hey, what's up, Paul? Teensy fella o'clock. Proprietor, founder, creator of Teensy. There we go. Oh, actually, here's a better pick on my tutorial. So I was talking about my companion core and how it is also skeletal and Halloweeny. But did you know that it has also a secret little heart on there? When you rotate it, you can see that because of Oshpark's After Dark colorway, they use black FR4, so the actual PCB substrate is black, and clear solder mask so that you can see the copper traces underneath the solder mask, and then also any exposed copper that doesn't have solder mask over it gets plated in gold with that unique gold coating. Where is... I just grabbed one so I could show you. Oh yeah, but I have a purple one. It shows up a lot more easily on the purple. So here you have like a textured version with the heart very clearly exposed. But on the black one, it's a lot more subtle of an effect, and the skeleton is much clearer. For obvious reasons, I prefer the black one. So what else we got? We talked about the cat. I'm going to put that back on my desk so I don't forget to solder it later. There's also another beautiful black cat one. Let me check who this is from, because I think that the Jewel Thief one is by Tilda Industries, and this is by LK. Yeah, Steph Piper makes a ton of really cool, beautiful, honestly, PCB kits, including this 3D / 2.5D one where it's like layered with these beautiful flowers and stuff. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I think this one is designed as a nightlight, because I think that it has like it has a photoresistor. So when I turn this on, you've got like a little coin cell on the bottom here and a switch. And actually, I need to connect that more solidly, but then you can see there's a little LDR in there, light detecting resistor, transistor and resistor, and then this little tiny blue LED, which I might swap out for something a little bit brighter at some point, maybe. Okay, and then if I do that, it becomes a nightlight. Doop. Gorgeous. Ah. Beautiful. And then there's, let's talk about the doots. Okay, so I wrote an article about this back in the day. But basically, I was unboxing for Hackster a SparkFun board that had a boot button on it, and I misread this as doot, because it really did look like doot on the... I'm going to show you. Here we go. I can't follow myself. So I was doing this micro mod system unboxing, and when you zoom in on it, I think it just shows it on YouTube at some point. I like flip out about the doot button, but it turns out to be an anomaly of the font itself, and not actually saying doot, which made me very sad. So this actually led to so I think Dave Darko is the one who actually corrected me about this, which led to him creating another PCB that is a doot button, and it's got a spot for a fairly large button on here, and then on the back it says, this exists because I regret correcting myself, which is great. I've never had an apology PCB made before, but this was a few years ago now. When was this? Well, I wrote the article 4 years ago, so that tells you some idea of the timing. And then also we got Chris Gemmell in on it, Rob Reynolds, who I think might have created... He's definitely made, I think, some PCBs for them. Anyway, made this giant doot button. We also got a snoot button that you can boop on this one, from Jonathan Oxer. Beautiful. And here's that doot button from Dave Darko, which you can still, I think, get on Oshpark. Yep. And then, oh yeah. Where's the, here. Like, look at that. Does that not say doot? It absolutely 100% does. Anyway, so the Halloweeny twist on all of this is that eventually SparkFun came out with a doot board. Check this out. It's got a little skeleton guy going doot doot. This is I think it's an ESP32 thing plus, yeah. And it does say doot on it. This is possibly one of my crowning achievements as a maker, is just getting a SparkFun troll board made out of a mistake that I made on a live stream, which is a pretty cute mistake, honestly. I think all boards should have a doot button. Maybe I should do that with mine. Anyway, so that's a whole story that I just adore, and I'll keep this one forever. These are little IoT boards. And oh, speaking of KiCad, I just learned how to put a bar over our reset pin name like that. A little hard to see on here, and hopefully I'm not backwards for you. Anyway, so one more spooky PCB for y'all. This is one that So my friend Doc Pop, aka Dr. Popular, is a professional yo-yoist and also creates his own yo-yos. Check out this gorgeous argyle patterned one. So I forget what this is called. I'll have to look it up. Does it say? Doc Pop yo-yo. That's the bolt. Says it on there. So anyway, this is a yo-yo with a very special feature, which is that you can... See if I can do this. Remove the side pieces and put your own little custom designs in there. So he was interested in making little PCBs to put on here, and I was like, yes! So I designed this skeleton one, which is based on a picture from oldbookillustrations.com. There's this series of images called Quarles Emblems, and I'm gonna have to pull up my old website here to show you some more stuff that I've made with these because they are gorgeous. The aesthetic is unmatched. Anyway, so I made this so that it pops into the side of the PCB here. And if anyone is a math or physics nerd and wants to make some kind of a utility where you can tell how, like, the copper on a design. See, I feel like this could be done with like SVG or something. Also, I need to make this fit differently because right now it falls out. A little tough because it's like not, it's totally rigid, right? Maybe with like a half height one, I was thinking. But anyway, I was thinking that if someone made a utility where you could like calculate based on an SVG and a given, you wouldn't even have to have a given thickness of the copper, right? I think you would, because you'd have to have the how much the FR4, like a standard value for the mass of the FR4, and then also the copper itself. So Oshpark has two different thicknesses of copper you can get on a PCB. From what I recall, the half-height ones actually have a thicker layer of copper, which has been a problem before when I was doing my Charmware PCBs, because these guys are in both full height and half height, and the half height ones have these, they all have these big copper pores, and those became very difficult to solder on the half height ones and also stayed hot for a long time, so beware. Anyway, so it'd be cool to be able to calculate the center of mass, right? Because if it's rotating, if you are a professional yo-yoer, I imagine there are people who have incredible yo-yo skills, and you see these videos of them doing redonkulous things, and you need to have a balanced yo-yo. So shouldn't you be able to calculate the center of mass so that you can like upload a little design and then be like, oh, the copper is throwing it off. And then also, of course, there's like, you'd want to balance the LEDs out and stuff and any other stuff that you actually put on here. But for now, just like, anyway, so that's my little, what is it called? Yo Skelly yo. So that's a little unrevealed previously skeleton PCB. I'll have to do a little video about that. It's like dedicated. Anyway, so I think that's all the spooky PCBs I had for you right now. We got one with like lightning on it that I made a while ago for zapping your face for reasons. Zapping blue lights in your eyes in a safe way, very specific, extremely tailored ways with very specific frequencies, etc. Don't come for me. I've had so many people like yell at me in comments about that. I'm like, read the science! People sell products for this and they have published the science because everyone's afraid of zapping their eyeballs with blue light. It's very specific. Ooh. That's a cool idea! Thanks, J3Z. If you imported the SVG into Fusion, extruded it to some unimportant thickness, then you could use its center of mass analysis feature. That's clever. Yeah, actually, maybe you could even put like the FR4 base in there as well. That'd be cool. I had a Fusion trial going, and it's like $680 or something per year, so I let it lapse. But I might end up doing some more Fusion stuff if I get somebody to sponsor that. We'll see. So, oh yeah, I was gonna solder the battery holder onto this kitty cat, and then maybe do some live KiCad stuff. Okay, so one more thing about this Jewel Thief kitty cat. Okay, so let me get all this extra stuff off of here, or I'll leave it around for ambiance. But first I must show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's my very dirty work mat. I think I'm mirrored. Let me know if I'm mirrored, please. Oh, hey, John. Uh, trying Onshape. I adore Onshape, and I use it for most of my 3D modeling stuff. I also love that I can't lose the files, because they're all online. I got like both my work and personal computers stolen in 2019, and I lost a ton of old work, including my Charmware designs. So like the designs themselves are very simple, but I miss having this little logo. I want to put it on some new stuff. So I'll just have to, it's very simple. I can recreate it, but it's irritating. I struggle bus along with the free version because I hate Fusion, but I hate everything else more. Yeah, I'm curious if you're doing just 3D modeling, or are you doing like eCam, like electronic stuff as well in there? Like, hey. So, anyways, before I get too far into the weeds again, another cool thing about this Jewel Thief Cat is that it comes with all this stuff that fits into the waist area. It's like this. It came like this, I think, or so. So we got Tilda Industries little logo keychain fob thing. I adore this. Ugh. And there's this beautiful little documentation section here, which tells you all about it. It has a little QR code about it. Dear friend, I need your help. My parts have fallen out. Without them, I have lost my powers. Grab your soldering iron and let's get started. It's so cute! Oh man. And then there's little like guide to the parts on there. Uh it's just it's just so good. It's so good. I need to meet these people in real life because man, I feel like we're really sort of vibing on our like them and Chipperdoodles. I actually got to meet Chipperdoodles in real life at Open Hardware Summit this year. I keep going off topic, but this whole thing is kind of off topic. Chipperdoodles makes these gorgeous things like the Anwar amulet, which is similar to a concept I've been developing called the Pomander in secret. But the further I get on designing my own little device, the more I realize it's kind of converging with the Anwar standard. But the cool thing is that mine will be different and guitar pick shaped and stuff. So there's just like a couple of concepts like having sort of a base plate and then having swappable faces that you can put on it that ties into something. Anyway, so similar creative minds. Oh yeah, electronic Cheshire Cat vibes, absolutely. And it is absolutely cute as heck. Oh, here we go. Just modeling with Fusion, even though it struggles mightily if you have more than a few components. Eagle is a nightmare for PCBs. I don't know. I'm keeping along with Onshape and what did I say? KiCad. Anyway, let's fire up the old soldering iron. Once again, I must extol the virtues of my soldering iron, which is this iFixit FixHub soldering iron, and it has like it warms up in 5 seconds, which is amazing for someone like me who is very impulsive and does a lot of spur of the moment stuff. So like it'll like cool down after a while of inactivity, and then like it's ready to go in 5 seconds again, which is just wonderful. Like to me, that's just like a killer feature. And it also like, as you can see actually here, let me show you one more thing. It charges in the back here with a high amperage USB-C situation. It's got 2 outs, so you could actually have 2 soldering irons coming out of here. You could have a pine sill as well if you prefer that for some stuff. It's got this little mount which also removes if you want to like clip it onto you for some reason. And then also it is portable, so I can toss it in my stuff for going to like a conference for fixes, but also I don't have to have one more wire running around everywhere. I can just have it in my like laptop plug thingy-majig, and it helps keep my stuff less tangly. And if I want to like really charge it somewhere else, I can like put it away and bring it back. It's just marvelous. Anyway, so let's get this going. I have been meaning to do this for ages. It definitely was from David Groom because he sent it to me and then like accidentally omitted the battery holder, which is why I have it separately here. and then sent it to me later on, and I actually lost that one. So now I'm using another one from a batch that I ordered a while ago. I hope this is a AA. I think it is. The thing is, it doesn't really matter. You can do this with like CR2032s and stuff, which is why I designed mine actually with these little blades, so you can solder through these holes, or you can use a conductive tape to connect these to the two poles of any size battery. And you can also wrap the tape through these if you have a z-axis conductive one that where like if you tape it to something it conducts that surface. Then yeah, you can use it with arbitrary sizes of battery, and also just because it looks cool. So this is my one, and it's at bit.ly/hackjoule, Joule. I don't know how well that shows up on here. Focus. Anyway, so enough about that. So this one takes, I think, double or triple A's. And we're going to do a little brass coil action here. Get some solder on the thingy. My camera is for some reason extra zoomed in, so I gotta be careful about where on the screen I am. Or that I am on the screen. Okay, we might need the solder sucker for this one. Let's just... This is definitely the like approved way to desolder stuff. Oh, wire. There we go. It works fine. Just grab the wire and whatever fingers you have available on the board and the other two. There we go. I guess I could just stabilize the board in something, but where's the adventure in that? Do the thing. Might have to get some more solder on the tip here. There we go. Okay, yeah, and let's get the solder sucker in here and clean that up real quick. Get it on the screen. Come on. I'm gonna add a little more solder so we get good thermal contacts. Oh! My new extraction hood. Do I need to like... Oh, it's already plugged in. I got smart and got a little soldered fume evacuator thingamajig, whatever you call it. Oh, my brain. As I mentioned, I'm a little under the weather, so it's extra cozy today. It's a good day to be under the weather. It's like I haven't got a ton going on. I don't have to leave the house, and like it's all rainy outside, which I adore. It's perfect. Like I got some hot water here to drink because I was running behind. I didn't want to wait for tea, but I'm totally gonna have some green tea after this. Hey, clear the thingy. There we go. So, but my brain is not operating on the highest echelons of excellence. So, okay, cool. Now we grab this guy. And there is, I think this is a positive end. Yes, there we go. Diddly do. Shove that in there. Oh, I didn't get all the solder out, so you're pouting. Alright, that's fine. I shall apply more solder. And then I'm going to, this is the positive end? No, other end. Should not have let it harden because now it's going to have filled up that hole, which is going to make this annoying. I'm going to put this in a third hand. Where is it? This is almost a little too zoomed in, but I wanted to err on the side of that this time because I often have it a little too zoomed out. And in my perception, if you're like watching it on anything but a big screen, it makes it a little hard to perceive what's going on. So I'm going to put this here. And I'm looking at this end. Ah! Need to go like this? Am I making that up? Ah, wrong end. Need the negative side. Here we go. Good to check. Yeah. Alright, so get it up from this side. Push it through from that side. And there we are. I'm gonna push in the other leg at the same time. Not touch the spring because that's gonna be hot. There we go. Oh, I couldn't get that all the way on because of the springs, but that's fine. Now we shall clean this up. Where'd my solder go? Here we are. Can y'all even hear that fan going? It's like pretty quiet in my opinion, especially because the actual fan part of it is sort of further away on the desk, so I'm pretty happy with it. But let me know. Gorgeous. Do I have like the LEDs and everything else on there already? I do! Let's fire it up. I gotta find a AA battery somewhere. What do we have? Maybe just a coin cell? I know that I've got stuff around. Well, a coin cell. Oh yeah, this thing. Haha. I could have done this before actually, but this is just a little tester that I made. It's a PCBs object, which is the precursor to Charmware, my little modular thingamajigs. Oh, let's clip these off. But first, let's test it. Positive end. Woo! Gorgeous. So there we go. Beautiful little Halloween cat guy from Tilda Industries. Ah, it's gorgeous. Once again, here's the page for that. While I clean up my desk a little bit. And then I'll show you some of the stuff I'm doing in KiCad. Oh, we got some chat stuff. Hooray, I'm glad that you are only hearing me and not the fume extractor. That's what I was trying to say. Paul asks, do you have conductive tape that makes electrical contact through its adhesive side? I sure do. So, it's called Maker Tape, and it's from BrownDogGadgets. So let me go find it. BrownDogGadgets. This stuff is incredible. Okay, I should do a demo with this with the Jewel Thief at some point because it is so good. Where is it gone? Here we go. It's got a ton of advantages over regular copper tape. Oh, they've got a cool little cutter thing for it too. That's smart. Under parts? They need to advertise this stuff a lot more because, like, I haven't seen it elsewhere. I'm sure you can get it in other places somehow, but it is just a killer component. Conductive hook and loop. They got like Velcro? Ha! No way! Where is it? You must be able to get in like a kit or something. What if I just search for tape? Here we go. Yeah, Paul, I can just bring some for you the next time we're in the same place. It comes in 1/4 and 1/8 inch widths, and the whole deal with this is that it's made of nylon, so it's much more resistant to snapping. You can flex it a lot more. It's really flexible. I don't think it really stretches, but it does flex around all kinds of stuff. It's very durable. It's like this ripstop material. And then, oh yeah, you found it. Excellent. And then, as I mentioned, it is Z-conductive, or Z-axis conductive. So the adhesive on here conducts electricity up through the tape. I'm sure that there's some resistance and stuff, but under 5 ohms per foot of resistance, I'm sure that means like lengthwise. But let's see. But yeah, it has this. There you go. You just overlap 2 pieces of it, and then you have an electrical connection. It's so good. So it's designed to be used with their Lego components, as you can see here. And the components do not like actually snap onto the Lego, as I got confused about in the past, but they do have a bunch of different ways to attach devices to your Lego. And but this is just such a smart thing. Ugh, can't get over it. Ah, yeah, there you go. I got too lazy to actually search for it. I was like, I'll go straight to the site. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good for homemade flex circuits, all kinds of different good stuff. Yeah, I think I've covered. Oh yeah, Christian's interested in the soldering station. Your old station is almost old enough to drive. Yeah, okay, so I will say I've heard feedback from different people about the soldering station, the FixHub, so I'm gonna go into that really quick. Pardon me. Also, there we go. So, this thing, the FixHub from iFixit I love it a lot. Some people have a couple of pieces of beef with it, which I understand, but let's go through it. So for me, I love that it's portable. I love that I can throw it in I can travel with it. So it's TSA okay to have in my carry-on. I think you do have to put it in your carry-on, but it's really good for that, and if you detach it, it's not going to come apart, or turn on, whatever. Turn this off again real quick. Like I said, it's got a 5-second heat up time, which is incredible. And also it has this little connector, which I think this is actually an off switch. I forget, but I think it is. Your soldering iron won't actually turn on without that. And also it's got this locking USB-C connector so that it makes it really easy, like just really durable in some good ways. As for the feedback I've heard in terms of negatives, it does use a specific tip, which is a little confusing for many people because iFixit's whole sort of deal is about repairability, and like one would think that they would choose a standard tip size that works with other types of soldering irons like the Pine Sil or the TS series from Miniware and stuff like that. And it has a specialized shorter tip, and the reason for that, the stated reason, is that it allows you more control. Having a shorter tip lets you just have more control over how and where you're soldering. Personally, I can go either way, and I would probably lean toward having a tip that's more standardized so that you can swap it out with other ones. But that is the stated reason, and that is also, I think, the major feedback point. I've also seen feedback about the price point. Personally, I think that it's got a good price point for, let me pull it up, for what you're getting, which is not just the soldering iron and stuff, but also like a massive battery that you can run all kinds of stuff off of. It's really useful to have when you're traveling and stuff, or just even as a backup. Let's pull this up. iFixit, FixHub. And pull up the website. Here we go. You can get different amounts of FixHub. You can get just the soldering iron that you can plug into whatever, and that's $80. You can get this whole soldering station with the battery, which is $250, which I understand if that's like a no-go, but I do think it works really well for what it is. It really, like, you can adjust the temperature on it, obviously, and all that good stuff. You can also take it apart. So when I got it, at least, I think it also still does ship with a like an Allen key type thing for the screws on here, which it's designed to be repairable. You can swap out, I think it's full of 18650 cells, which you can swap out as a set if you open this up. And of course they've got guides for that because they're iFixit. But then also you can get this soldering toolkit for $50 extra, which I think, I did not get it, but I think it's really worth it if you are interested at all, because it includes lots of interesting stuff like self-vulcanizing rubber tape that you can use in place of heat shrink. So they call it silicone electrical tape, I guess. Let's pull this up. Basically, you like pull it and stretch it, and then you wrap it around a thing, and it becomes like one piece, like self-fusing silicone electrical tape. It's so cool. They give you like some pieces of this, and I kind of want them to just sell this as, you can just buy this on its own, pack of strips or a roll. Oh, I gotta get some of this. Okay. I'm gonna get some of that. Okay. Anyway, so it comes with that, as well as some good little tools and stuff. And you get a little thing of desoldering braid and some lead-free solder and a little tube of flux, as well as a little tiny brass coil in a little compartment, which, oh, I'm such a sucker for like little compartment thingies. And then this thing, I've got one around here, but I'm not sure exactly where. Oh, it's in my luggage. This thing here is a little stand where you can, because of this zigzag pattern, you can mount PCBs in it and it'll clamp onto them very easily. It's a flexi silicone heat resistant thingy, and it's also magnetic, so that it basically is a third hand without the alligator clips, and it won't mar your surfaces and stuff. So I think this is for flux pen type applications. You get little like spudger and tweezers and stuff, but for me, the self fusing tape stuff and these little guys, the tiny brass coil, the little third hand thingy are also pretty cool. So, and then it all comes in this like cool little roll thingy. So I think that for 50 bucks extra, if you're gonna get the FixHub, like I would spring for that as well. I happened to get mine as a giveaway from iFixit for their launch, so that is, take that with a grain of salt. I did get it for free, so I didn't have to pay for it. So factor that in. But this part is okay. This is the other piece of feedback, which I also thought is kind of silly, is that like you have to connect it to a browser in order to adjust like the default temperature settings type things. You can adjust the temperature from the device. It's got a little scroll wheel and stuff, but I think it's ridiculous to have a device that like is made for especially with the sort of like resilience and the like adaptability type stuff that iFixit is on, which I love about them. I adore their whole ethos. And it seems like this is one of the two different ways that, in my opinion, this soldering iron kind of like goes against that ethos in a very confusing kind of way. Like, but anyway, your mileage may vary. Choose your own terms and then solder upon them, I guess. Oh, great point from Jay. Something I could use when I forget to put the heat shrink on something after soldering the connector on. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great point. Yeah, I didn't even thought about that. Okay. I'm gonna put this in my cart. And then Paul says, order placed with BrownDogGadgets for that maker tape. Seriously, I'm shocked that they don't advertise this more broadly. I should just do it for them because it's so good. Everybody go buy some maker tape. It's such good stuff. If you do any kind of like flexi stuff, or you can sew through it, it's ripstop. It's not gonna crinkle up, increase and fold and then break on you like so many other things, especially if you're working with kids, having to rework stuff until you get it right, like motor skills kind of things is great. So, okay. That's Halloween PCBs, and then we soldered the battery holder onto this. Oh yeah, let's clip off the ends real quick. Doop 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 doo. Pull up the camera. I've got like 8 different camera things right now, and by 8 I mean 2 or 3, but it's always how it is. So satisfying. I did recently my first sort of ASMR-esque video. Let me show you that real quick, because I gotta put it on YouTube, actually. I haven't done that yet because I'm a fool. But this Raspberry Pi video on my Instagram is my first attempt at sort of ASMR binaural stereo stuff. I have made ASMR videos for myself because I hate the ones where people are like whispering in your ear or like smacking their mouths, eating stuff. Horrible. But I love the sound of like raindrops on a car roof or on an umbrella. So I've actually got on my SoundCloud. I was going to show you something on my old site and I forget what it was. But anyway, on my SoundCloud, I've got this rain ASMR thing. I think I told people about this last time. Anyway, old site, something, something, something. There was some reason I was going to point people here, but I forget what it was. That's fine. Maybe I'll remember later. But anyway, I made this like sort of binaural stereo video for Raspberry Pi recently, and have been thinking about doing more like ASMR electronics type stuff. So watch out for that soon. Oh yeah. I've heard people rave about the feel and sound of those Pi keyboards, says Jay. Absolutely. It is gorgeous and it sounds gorgeous. So let me grab this for you actually real quick. They do have special, I forget what they're called. I had to say it like 8 times when I was talking about this on the video, but clicky and loud is the descriptor of these keys on their manufacturer's website, but swappable. It comes with a key puller that I actually haven't been brave enough to use yet. Let's try. Just because they're like giga something, 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 whatever keys. I've never actually used a key puller before, so maybe I'm going to screw this up, but do you like squeeze it? Oh, I'm totally gonna mess up my pie. What's the most expendable key on here? I'm gonna go with power. No, that's not a good idea. Well, that would be the one where I would make my own one, most likely. So let's see. Can I do this without wrecking everything? Aha! Simple as that. So you can swap them out. You can swap out the keys as well, I think. But you can definitely swap out the keycaps. But they're very nice. And then, of course, it's got that RGB backlighting. Okay, let me put this back on and hope to not die. Ha! We're learning. We're growing and learning. They look like Topra low-profile switches, but I'm not an expert. I don't. Let me look up the company because it's another one where I can never figure out how to pronounce any of these just right off the bat. So let's pull it up. Raspberry Pi. 500 plus. Here we go. $200, beautiful. There's all the things. It's a lot heavier, obviously, because it's got more LEDs and stuff. Swappable NVMe storage. Here we go. Gatoron or Gatoron or something. KS33 blue low profile switches. It's very nice. Oh, you made a keyboard ASMR video on a dare when I got a particularly clicky Japanese MSX computer in. It actually came out sort of good. Ha! That sounds awesome. Okay, so how do you pronounce this then? Do you say Gatoron, like Gatorade, or is it like an old school okay, this is gonna be a ridiculous reference, but so Groucho Marx in I think it was Animal Crackers is doing his usual thing where he's laying the schmooze onto what's her name? The amazing woman who often plays their straight woman. But anyway, he talks about having a little black gat gun and then makes a joke about how they could have little black gittens. Anyway, so is it like gat like the gun or is it like Gatorade? Oh yeah, there we go. Get her on. Gotcha. All right, awesome. Man, I look all washed out because it's getting dark in here. Oh well, who cares? So let's do some KiCad. I'm gonna show you again on the pronunciation stuff. I say KiCad because I think it sounds cooler, and I have this iPad to KiCad tutorial that I'm never giving up. So this is sort of like an example of a really messy design. This is just something that I was sort of whipping up as an example that I wanted to show people what I'm doing these days. So as in terms of process, because I've added some new stuff. So this is sort of like I made the design in KiCad, I took a screenshot, and then I cropped it right down to the edges of the board. And I know the exact dimensions of the board. So I basically pulled this into Procreate and resized it so that it's 100 pixels per inch, which is not optimal. I learned recently that Chipperdoodles uses like 300 to 600 or plus or more than that dpi for incredible resolution. In my opinion, like I'm doing this on the copper. There's small. I can deal with 100 dpi. It's fine. Although I think I usually do 300 to 400 on the thing. Maybe I should make it bigger. I should make it bigger. It'll make the math a little bit slightly more complicated, but you only have to do it like once per project. You just like resize to the same canvas. I should just do that. Anyway, so I've got my design stuff in its own little layers, and I'm going to combine those into a single layer. That's right, I have to do that. So actually, I'm going to duplicate this design so I can, so select, duplicate, I'm going to merge all those layers that I actually want in the final. So I've got basically like, this is the guitar pick shape. And then some of this is going to be copper layer and some of this is going to be white layer. I think I'm going to end up going with like PCB or someone as the manufacturer so I can get a similar. So in this case, like comparing this to the After Dark, right? It's like a regular FR4, so you can get shine through effects, which is really cool. And then matte black solder mask, which I do love the matte black compared to the glossy. And then you still have that beautiful gold coating. So in my opinion, I'll probably end up going with like one of those manufacturers instead of the Oshpark. Sorry, Oshpark, I love you, but in this particular case, I want it to be shine through. Here's a better example of the After Dark. So see how it's like a lot more shiny? And sometimes it comes out like a little bit gray as well. So anyway, I've got silk and copper layers in here. I'm gonna merge each set of them down. Basically this, so I'm sort of generalizing the guitar pick design. This is a functional guitar pick as well as like a little earring and like you wear a lapel pin, as a pendant, as a key fob, whatever, keychain fob thing, as the other end of a pocket watch if you wanted. And anyway, so I'm generalizing this design so that I can have like a base and then like different swappable tops on it for specific reasons that I will have yet to disclose. Someone made KiCad run on Android. Ha! What? What? Okay. Of course, it'd be easier if KiCad let you scale imported images, which has apparently been an open feature request for like decades. Honestly, I'm not too bothered about that. I like, when I was first doing PCB art, I did find it very challenging. I would basically make my image and then I would import it, and then if it was a little bit off, then I would like I would just change the DPI at which I was importing or exporting it so that it would like be a little bit larger or a little bit smaller, and I would just go through like rounds of that. But now I just do like a couple of little calculations before I bring it in and it's fine. So personally for me, that's like not a huge problem. It's basically like I crop it down to the exact dimensions that it has, and I convert that to its size in millimeters, and then I import it, and it does the thing. Oh, and the resolution as well. Oh. It works fine. Or actually, can you do millimeters, or is it like inches? I forget. Anyway, so this is a really fast and loose pattern, but I was basically making a little battery holder here, surface mount battery holder. You got the center ground contact and then positives on each side. And then this was all going to be copper with like excluded copper in some places, and then more copper designs. But then also these like little skeletal hands. Like I wanted it to be like a heraldic shield kind of with my personal motto thing, which is ad astra, etc. And then we've got little skeleton hands because it's Halloween, so why not? So the skelly hands would be in silkscreen. I think that the outline of the shield should be as well. But just taking this incredibly messy sketch as an example, I'm going to compile down all of the layers I want to be copper. And you know what? I'm just gonna leave it like this. Okay, so then I'm going to merge those bad boys. Get them all in one spot, and then merge down. Merge down. Merge down. There's probably a better way to do this. Maybe I could like group them and then something, but who cares? Anyway, get them all in one layer, and then hide everything else, which is actually really easy to do. If you just hold on the visibility toggle switch, it toggles everything else invisible. Actually, you can see what I started with. I took the exported screenshot and lowered the opacity over a black background so that like basically it becomes a lot dimmer and I could sketch over it in new layers. And then now here's my like copper layer export, and then I'm gonna export the skelly hands as their own layer. They basically overlap with the contacts of this switch and a resistor, so that like they'll be, oh, you know what? They were meant to be copper. I'll just, it doesn't matter anyway, because this is kind of like a horrible sketch, no matter what. So, but I'm just for like the sake of it, I'm gonna merge that down too. Oh no! Why did you make everything else visible as well? I don't want those. No. There's probably another setting I should be using instead. But anyway, so this is like my supposed copper layer. It's fine for the background to be black. I'm going to export it. I haven't actually done this in ages because of the KiCad install being broken. So export to a PNG. That will do the trick. And then I'm going to airdrop it to my computer. Apple has its own issues, but for me, I'm like stuck on it because well, A, privacy reasons. They're like, they do not have a motivation to sell your data, at least not nearly as much as like Google has to like troll your data for stuff. And so they've been highly recommended by lots of security people, and they've made that into a selling point. So, and then also B, AirDrop just makes it really easy. So moving stuff around as a media creator becomes really easy. So I'm going to open this up. You can't see it right now. I got to open up KiCad and show you that screen. Yeah, I'll show you my whole series of stuff that I'm working on here. So I got to add a new screenshot, stop screen, share screen, there, and then we'll go to KiCad. Okay, so, oh, you know what? This isn't going to show you the whole import process, so maybe I'll try and clean off an entire screen for you here. We shall share an entire, this guy. Is that working? There we go. Cool. So, bring this over here. And we got, I need to pull over this fella too. So, okay, this is at a scale of 1 pixel, or 100 pixels to 1 millimeter, which is probably not right, actually, for what I want to do. Also, it's been a while since I did this, so bear with me. This is Live Hacks. Load source image. Oh, I don't want to show you my downloads. There's probably not anything bad, but I never know. Grab the prototype. Okay, this is massive. Points per inch. Boo. Okay. Okay, output size. Easy. So the output size is going to be the same as, oh yeah! Maybe this solves the problem of it being, let's see. Does this go right to the edges? That would be great, because then I don't have to worry about chopping off empty space. I can, beautiful. So including the black background made it so that the dimensions stay exactly the same, which is beautiful. So I think this was 36 by 30 or 36 by 29. So let's just like call it that. Whoops. Yeah. Haha. Perfect. So that's beautiful. We can just do the output size like this. Blacks and white threshold. I don't really have to adjust that because it's just like, yeah, it's just about the same. And then there's 2 different types of layers I'm going to export from this. I'm going to export, 3 actually. Well, no, 2. So since this is the copper layer, I both want to add copper and remove solder mask. The cool thing about that is that the layers for these are the inverse of each other. I am using a... They've got copper on here now, and mask! That's so cool! Awesome. So do I want to do negative? I don't think so. Yes, I think I do. I always forget like which way. I wrote this in my tutorial. Pull up the tutorial, Alex. It's easy. Okay, where's my dang? Here we go. I know it's still in my history here, but I'm just the wrong kind of lazy right now. Here we go. So I've got a list of the here we go. You don't actually have to do this. You could do some of that stuff into KiCad. Here we go. Haha. So I actually want it to be black on white. And that'll work the same for both layers. Right? Let me triple check that. Black, yes. White, no. For copper, perfect. And then mask is white, yes. And black, no. Perfect. Haha. Export to file. Let's see. Shield test. Ha 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 ha! I should make one that's an actual Ouija board. I do have the oh, I think maybe that's because maybe you were talking about this one actually. Yeah. So when I made the guitar pick one, which one did I make first? I think I made this one first, and people were saying it looked like a guitar pick as well, and I should make a guitar pick one. And I think I made this. I don't remember which one came first, but anyway, uh, we've got both. This is indeed a Ouija planchette. So we were importing things. Let's do this. So export to file. Oh yeah, I named it and I exported it. So I think it should be now in my downloads, which I'm still not going to show. Yes, it is there. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to drop this into. I usually have a. I'm going to pull this up for you. Not that one. Here we go. So because of the kerfuffle from upgrading before updating my KiCad, I now have a special folder for ones made on this version of KiCad, and if all my stuff stays compatible, then I'm just going to keep using that same folder, but otherwise I'll keep stuff tidy. So usually when I'm making a project, I'll have a folder in here called assets, so that I keep together all the things that are for that project. Wait, is this the template? This is what I'm going to turn to a template, so maybe whatever, I'll do that later. Doesn't matter. So I've got this in here now, and I'm going to grab that in the footprint editor. I haven't done this in ages, like I mentioned, so it's going to be interesting. What's this? Create footprint. I wish to go to File, Import, and there's footprint and there's graphics. I'm going to grab footprint and go to. I got a bunch of my old ones here. Sadly, I lost the Charmore one. Here we go. Sky. Here we go. So now that's copper. You can see that. Let's get you out of there. We've got front copper. This is actually going to go on the back, I think. And then there's also, there should be, oh right, I haven't got mask on here. So I'm going to save this to my main glow bits. No, I'm going to make a new one. Project library. Shield pick. Okay. Share it. Save it in there. And put this, sure. And then I'm going to grab that library and I'm going to star it so it appears at the top too. Pin it. There we go. Beautiful. So now we got this guy. And I'm going to, I forgot that I needed to re-export that. So I'm going to open up the thingy again. Image converter. Re-imports. There's nothing really bad in there. Again, do the negative. I could have just left that window open before. I should have taken the hint they were giving me. Now instead of copper, I'm going to put it on the mask layer. It has to be negative. There we go. Export to file. Shield test. We're not fancy. Okay, so I'm going to drop this into that same folder. Should have put copper on the other file, but that's fine. Okay, so now we've got that, and I'm gonna... Oh, can I get two of them on the same thing? I must be able to. I know that I've done this before. Oh, wait, you know what? I think if I just hit it... Oh, I think if I just grab this, can I, like, paste it on top of there? Is that gonna hate me? I've got a 0.5 millimeter grid. I want you to be on top of the other one. Wait, what if I... Oops. I know there's a way to just like copy and paste in place, and there's some snapping stuff. Also, I keep forgetting that you scroll, it like zooms to center wherever your cursor is, unlike Onshape where it... Anyway, always a thing to get used to. So let's see. I wish to duplicate it and leave it in place. This is horrible. This would be a horrible PCB. Okay, I'm just gonna stick it here, and then I'm gonna change my grid to make them line up. But I'm going to... Oh no, I put it on the same layer. Ahaha! Why did I do that? Okay, actually I put it on the silk screen layer for some reason. Mask, here we go. Is that gonna paste onto the right layer, or is it still gonna be copper? Let's see, I'll put it over here. That's still copper, but I think... Oh no. Usually I can just hit E and say, like, go on to the other layer, but no. Well, okay. This is good. I'm, like, relearning the process. Honestly, doing a stream is the only way I was going to sit at my computer for more than a couple of minutes today because of the... I don't know, the weather situation. Okay, so let's try re-importing it. I did that already, so now I'm trying to figure out if I can import another thingy on top of this one. What I can definitely do is a horrible workaround, and I can import another... Ta-da! Sure. I can import it into a new one, and I think we'll soon find out if I am wrong. I think... Get ready to laugh if I'm wrong. I think I can just copy this bad boy. Whoop-a-do. Grab. And I gotta save this. Can I grab it and throw it in here? Ah ha ha! Yes! Beautiful! Okay, gorgeous. I don't think it's gonna line up quite exactly. So what I'm gonna do is... Horrible thing. I'm going to... You know what I should do is actually I should just center them both on the same spot. But I'm gonna make it this big. And then I'm going to move it. Oh, you're moving both of them. That's not what I wanted, my friend. Okay, we got this now. I do not for the life of me know how they decide which area to center on. You know what? Actually, it doesn't have to be in the middle. I can use any part of the design for this. I just gotta do it in a vaguely intelligent sort of way. Here we go. I'm doing a horrible thing and just trying to like manually line it up. It is a cosmetic graphical feature, so it doesn't really matter. Also, anything that doesn't have solder mask over it won't get silk screen, but that doesn't really affect this because it's not silk screen. Let's make this grid a little bit smaller. Just go all the way down. and continue being horrible with it. That's close enough. Boop. And if there's any offset, then it won't look like anything. So, okay, so we got our design. Mask is excluded. Oh, you know what? I need to flip both of these. Lol. You know what? I'll leave it as is. I'll flip it in the actual PCB design. Okay, so let's open up a design. My PCB editor with my in progress thingy here, which is horrible. Don't judge me. It's a work in progress. Doesn't matter. So now we're going to hit A. We're going to pull up that Selectron screen. Fortunately, since we have this pinned at the top, it's still there. So here's our... Oh, did I actually save that? Hopefully I did. Haha. I think I did. So now it should be the perfect proportions to fit on here, which it basically is. We got the LED in there. It's hard to tell because it's so scribbly and nasty, but you can kind of see that like this is lining up vaguely with the edge of the board with the skelly hands and the contacts on the switch here. This actually, is this perfectly, this actually looks a little bit big, maybe. I need to revise my process. Anyway. Oh no, I just did it like... I know what it is. It's because it's flipped. Lol. There we go. Okay. That's much better. So this is actually how you can see that the fingers of the skelly hand on the right are sort of lining up with the copper contacts on there. You can see how these like horrible diamond thingies are lining up with the copper contacts on there. Ideally, I would, if I was going to draw out the actual circuit in this way on a real PCB, then I would actually remove the existing components, because if I'm using copper, although, you know, I'd still want these to be plated through holes, so that would stay. But like, for example, this battery holder, I wouldn't have those contacts on there. So the next thing that I'm doing is basically like rebuilding my stash of components. I used to use all these ones from SparkFun. I've re-imported a bunch of those, but I also want to have like little cute hand-drawn ones. So these three I kind of made from scratch. I'm basically gonna, I put a little cute kitty face on here, but I want to draw something more like beautiful, make little hand-drawn, you know, analogs of these, so that this looks like a little hand-drawn LED, this looks like a hand-drawn resistor thingy. And I'm gonna make these available for whoever to use in case you want just like cute little silk screens that are a little bit less, a little more human, a little more fun, and add a little touch of sparkle to any PCB. I was also thinking it'd be kind of fun to make like a Halloween set of KiCad components for when you're making spooky stuff. I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go take a big nap, but we made some progress. I updated my process for doing that and for importing graphics. That seems to work pretty well. That's great. I'll probably up the resolution like we talked about and make those hand-drawn versions of the different components. I gotta like export them now, take screenshots of all of them, do the same process. Same kind of idea. I want to do them all the same size in Procreate as part of this process, because if I don't, then I can use the same brush size, but the brush size strokes will be all different. Based on the different, you know, resizings and all that good stuff. So I want to have a consistent line width that'll make it look more polished. And then, yeah, let's share that stuff on the internet. Thanks for coming along with me on Hack O'Clock. So this is sort of like two things in one. It's this Tuesday update thing I've been doing as well, where basically I have Hackster Cafe every other, like, about every other Tuesday, but sometimes we get backed up in terms of like logistics. Like I need photos to make the graphics. I do those all myself. Sometimes the bottleneck on getting the assets and stuff, so we don't set this up. But basically I wanted to make sure that every Tuesday now there's going to be a new video, and whether it's a Hackster Cafe or one of these Tuesday updates or a Hack O'Clock like now, you know, there's always going to be something new. So if you want to see more, you can just follow the Hack O'Clock, all one word, hashtag on Blue Sky or Mastodon. Follow me on LinkedIn or on YouTube or whatever. And thanks for, or I guess Twitch. We got some people from Twitch here, so thanks for joining and hack on. Yeah, thanks for joining. I'm glad that y'all made me look up the maker tape and also the iFixit thing, because that point about after you've soldered everything together and still need to like insulate the joint, but you didn't put the heat shrink on first is like, great point. I'm absolutely gonna get hold of some of that now. So cheers, everybody.